Welcome to Unicorn Straight No Chaser. I feel like it's been a while since we had a show. I don't know why I feel like that, but I feel like it's been a minute. As usual, I'm here with my fellow unicorns. To my right
So guilty.
and to my left.
Tony Baloney.
And I'm Siren by night. I always forget to introduce myself, so I didn't forget this time. Okay, I'm trying to get here because I had a little good nap and I'm having a hard time waking up. How was everyone's week?
Same shit. Same thing, not change. I think I got a lot of stuff completed, just extra time on my hand. I feel to get a lot of things. Your freedom. Done. Yes. It feels nice to pay attention to your house and everything. You know what I mean?
Oh wait, but not to cut you off, but for those of you who don't normally watch, we celebrated because Tony was trying to get fired on purpose and she succeeded. So, now she gets to enjoy being unemployed.
So some people frown about that, but y'all listen, you just gotta you gotta know your worth in the workplace, and sometimes that shit gets overbearing, and you just have to separate yourself from a toxic. If you can afford it, don't listen. I'm in a good place, all right. I'm not about to starve myself. You know what I mean? I'm in a good place where they shit ain't doing that for me. Don't go out there and get the fuck fired because you feel like you worth something, bitch. You better have some money up. I'm different.
So we got a good show for you tonight. We're going to talk about Ma'Khia Bryant. We're going to talk about LeBron James and them trying to boycott Space Jams. We're going to talk about Mortal Kombat. I know. We are going to also talk about what do you do when you are allergic to your own orgasm. And what do you do if you're allergic to your own lover's semen? So that's going to be in our Inside the Box segment. But first, May is Mental Health Awareness Month, for those who do not know. So I figured we would open it up by talking about something that a lot of people suffer from. I myself suffer from it, and so we're going to discuss anxiety a little bit. Anxiety, panic attacks, I suffer from both of them. It's one of the most common mental health ailments in the United States. 40 million adults have anxiety disorders. Unfortunately, only 36.9% actually receive treatment. So there's a lot of people walking around suffering and unnecessarily. So I figured I started out by reading something that I wrote a while ago. In case you don't know, I also have a blog called Unicorns and Vodka, and so a while back I wrote a piece about having anxiety, and I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just going to read a piece of it because it's easier than me thinking about it off the top of my head. So I suffer from anxiety and panic attacks. The definition would be an unexpected, overwhelming feeling of fear, worry, or distress that causes physical symptoms. Examples of these would be heart palpitations, nausea, sweating, difficulty breathing, tightness in the chest, etc. It can also affect your fight or flight. I had my first panic attack when I was in the 3rd grade. I'll never forget it. My body began to shake and I burst into tears in the middle of Miss Nicholson's class. I know the root of my attacks, but that's a story for a different time. In my teens and my early 20s, I traded the anxiety for headaches and breaking out in hives when I became overwhelmed with stress. My episodes were few and far between. However, when my youngest child was diagnosed as autistic, along with some other incidents, the panic attacks and anxiety came back. They returned with such full force, I often went to the emergency room. I can't explain it if you've never felt it. I can't breathe, my heart races, my chest is tight. I want to cry, but it's stuck in my throat. Then the times that I do cry, it lasts seemingly forever. You know what it is, just you can't stop it. You feel like you are drowning. I went majority of my adult life not knowing what was wrong with me, not knowing that I wasn't alone and that it was okay to not be okay. So, like I stated, I've had anxiety since I was very, very young. I remember my first attack when I was in the third grade, but I probably had them for far longer than that. And I make a point to say that just because people often don't look at their children and think that, they can have mental health issues, but I definitely had them in childhood. My son, I've noticed that is 8 years old. He also suffers from anxiety. Um, Pretty much all my children do. So unfortunately, that's something that I pass down to them, and it can definitely be genetic, or it can be a result of some type of trauma that you endured. So my anxiety, I do have full-fledged attacks, but I also have a lot of physical ailments. So like I have IBS, I had migraines, I had hives. As I got older, my hives turned into shingles. Like I present very much with physical sicknesses in lieu of a full-on anxiety attack. I don't know if you guys have ever had one before. Well, I know you've had one before, but I don't know if you've ever had one before.
I don't think so. I don't think I've ever had a anxiety attack. I think I feel anxiety, but I don't think I've ever had like an attack.
Yeah, you
like,
know
what I mean? Like I understand kind of when you describe it, like heart palpitations, stuff like that, but I guess the loss of control of like fear, I guess. It kind of sounds like fear, like extreme fear. That's kind of how it sounds to me. I don't think I've had that, like an attack. No.
Yeah, it's kind of irrational,
but not like an attack. I've seen it. I've seen people have them in front of me before. It's kind of scary, and there's nothing you can do. Like I can't. I try to help them, and it's like it's okay. They kind of like got to go through it on their own. It's not really much an outsider can do to prevent them from.
I mean, there's techniques, and we'll talk about that. But how do you feel when you have your attacks?
Oh, when I have my panic attacks and everything, it's not always prevalent. Like mine show up in a different way. Like I start obsessing over things, and then it's like in a natural, unhealthy way. You know what I mean? And I never noticed that I'm doing it until like it comes when I'm working on like a project, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And you get this overwhelming fear that something is about to happen and that you can prevent it, but like you don't. But you don't know how to prevent it. So you start to gain rituals and stuff and do things that you think can prevent it. And the moment that you miss one of those rituals or like OCD, then you're just like, it's gonna be my fault by something, and it gets debilitating. You really need help and therapy because it gets debilitating. It do. Yeah. Mine's it causes nausea and everything. It controls my whole diet. It's terrible. But
you said your diet is terrible?
Yes, it is. It controls my whole diet. Not my diet is terrible, but the nausea that the anxiety causes controls how I eat in the morning. You know what I mean? During the day.
Okay. Well, you guys already know. They know already, but I've had lifelong issues with my stomach in particular. So I definitely have to see a gastroenterologist, and all of it is stress related. You know what I mean? My headache started when I was very, very young. Hey, Jonathan. Hello. You want to know what being a unicorn means? Okay, so really quick, because you would have to watch like our first episode to truly understand. Unicorn is what I call someone who has something that makes them rare and unique. And because the foundation of this podcast is talking about mental health, it means that dynamic. Like, okay, my daughter's autistic. That's what makes her a unicorn. That's what makes her rare and unique, right? I have anxiety. Other people might be bipolar. So that's what that is, okay? But thank you for being here. So back to talking about anxiety. Like I said, May is Mental Health Awareness Month. So in particular, I really want people to take away from this, pay attention to your children. You know, when I was younger, I had that episode. You would think that the teachers would reach out to my parents, or, you know, a meeting would be called. I mean, I'm crying in the middle of the class. You know what I mean? And I literally was in the middle of the whole entire class for everyone, full display for everyone to see. But nothing was done about it. So still in 2021, you know, people ignore things within their children that they see, and they think that, you know, all of a sudden at 18, you suddenly develop anxiety, you know, or OCD or all these things like that. And that's not really the way that it works. So there's anxiety disorders, and then there's panic attacks, and the two are pretty closely related. I have both. Anxiety can develop into a full-blown panic attack, but just so you kind of can tell the difference, a panic attack, the symptoms are more intense and can cause a major disruption in your day, characterized by 4 or more of the following symptoms: palpitations, pounding heart, excessive sweating, trembling, shaking, difficulty breathing, choking, chest pain, nausea, dizziness, detached from oneself, losing control. You feel like you're going crazy, a fear of dying, numbness, chills or hot flashes, versus an anxiety attack, which the anxiety intensifies over a period of time. The stress may reach a level that's overwhelming, like I said, and then you feel like it's a full-blown panic attack. And then you can have muscle tension, disturbed sleep, difficulty concentrating, fatigue, restlessness, irritability, increased startle response, heart rate, shortness of breath, dizziness, and the symptoms may persist and be long lasting. So I have both. And I found a few different things that do help me. Number one, first and foremost, I did seek therapy at some point in time. I am a big advocate of therapy. I think most people can benefit from therapy at some point in their lives. I used to walk around when my anxiety was really bad. I used to wear a rubber band around my wrist. And when I would feel a anxiety attack come on, I would pop it. It was like kind of my version of a grounding technique. I don't do that anymore, but I also don't have my attacks as frequently. That's because I take medication. So eventually, after so many trips to the hospital, you know, before I realized that I was having full-blown panic attacks, and before I got like my blood pressure and a whole bunch of things, my migraines and stuff under control, I ended up breaking down and saying, you know what, I need some medication. So I do take medication every day that helps me control my anxiety. I maybe can go 3 or 4 days without it at the most before I notice it, but it's no shame in it. If you need it, you need it. I much rather take my little medication every day, you know, than be in the middle of Target crying and breaking down and, you know, having to run into the bathroom to get my life together. You don't take anything. So how do you manage yours?
Marijuana.
I mean, that ain't bad.
A lot of people do. Mine's is cheaper.
A lot of people do.
Yeah, a lot of people self-medicate.
When you have your panic attacks and your anxiety attacks, are you thinking of something? Are you having like racing thoughts that kind of bring it on? Both of y'all. Like, I know yours is OCD, like kind of like obsessive, but is yours?
Do I have a trigger? Is that what you want? So I can be triggered, but a lot of times it just comes out of nowhere. I can wake up out my sleep in a full-blown attack.
Okay.
I hate that. Those are the worst. I could wake up out my sleep in a full-blown attack. Like I said, I could be in the middle of Target and have an attack. I remember this one time when they were real bad. Like, I was at work and we were in a meeting, and I literally was laughing and I just felt it come on. Like, I couldn't control it. I'm like, oh shit, and that's when I had my rubber band. So I'm popping. But at some point, it got so bad, like I had to go, walk out. And my boss was looking at me like, bitch, what is wrong with you? I was like, and she was like, it's okay, just go ahead and go, like, because obviously you're losing your mind.
For the most part, I do have triggers that sets it off, but I do like to stay away from that trigger. So it really set it off without the trigger. It's like, if I'm in the midst of like if I'm in like in a rush or something, or like I'm under pressure. Like I work well under pressure. I do. Like I shine under pressure, but I'm fucking screaming on the inside. Okay. Like this project gonna get done, but I'm stressing the fuck out deep down inside. I'm screaming. But I do have triggers outside of it.
Okay. So I mentioned earlier that it's not one of the most common mental health issues, but only 36.9% of people get treatment for it when there's 40 million people suffering from it. So why do you guys think that is? I mean, I can hear my theories, but
I mean, people don't like to get help. Don't nobody want to admit that they have a problem or that something is wrong. I'm one of them people. I do not like to admit when something's wrong. It's just something, I don't know why. I just don't, I don't know. I don't want to put myself on nobody. So it's like, I handle it on my own and I deal with whatever's going on mentally myself. But I do think a lot of people just have this preconceived notion, like, don't go get therapy, don't ask for help, don't try to get, treatment. I don't know.
Well, for me, I used to, you know what I mean? But like work got in the way, and y'all know how I was when I was working, like how I was at work all the fucking time, and I don't know about everybody else. It was hard for me to make those meetings and schedule and everything, and really go to them like I should. It turned into me rescheduling and shit, and me just not going all together. So, but I'm gonna go back. But I don't know about everybody else, but for me, it was work schedule, 40 weeks hours.
So just not having enough time to like deal with your own mental health.
Yeah, like you gotta think about it. Most of the people out there in the workforce are labor. They working 40 hours a week. They ain't got no fucking money. They barely got any benefits to pay for the therapy that they need. By the time they get home, they tired. They got kids and everything. So I know for me, now that I have the opportunity, I'm going to take it. I feel like this is the time where I can work with myself. But a lot of people probably don't have that opportunity like I got it.
That's true. Well, you guys know I got burnt out. Like I was burnt out, and honestly, it took me 2 years to pull myself out of it, because from working, trying to take care of my kids are special needs. I'm trying to take care of their needs, and I just, you get 2 days, Monday through Friday, I'm at work. Then you get 2 days to try to get everything done. You have doctor's appointments. I have chronic pain. I don't sleep well. I have insomnia. That's a whole nother thing.
And then you think about it, this whole pandemic forced every kid on the computer.
Right.
Now you gotta come home, cook dinner, make sure they did their assignments on the computers and everything, get them together for tomorrow, and set it up again. And y'all know the Zoom things it wasn't easy getting it together. That's a lot.
Yeah. I definitely had a whole breakdown, like, okay, this is too much, and I'm mentally checked out of a lot of things, and so I'm just getting into the headspace and had the emotional bandwidth to get back where I was beforehand. But I feel like what's going to happen is that I'm just going to do it all over again. I'm going to burn myself out all over again, going full force.
But that can also cause
hey, how are you, honey?
Like knowing or thinking that it's going to happen again, or knowing it's going to come. That could cause a bit of anxiety too. Like, oh God, when it's going to start over? When I'm gonna get burnt out again. Sometimes your own thoughts kind of bring it on, and that's unfortunate. Like, it's hard to change that. That's something that's very hard to change. Like, you can say it all the time. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do better. I'm not gonna think about negative things. You can do that, and then all this stuff just falls in your lap. You know what I mean? So it's hard. It's hard.
So there's a lot of things that you can do to try to manage and cope you know, but before I get into those, I'm gonna tell you what really works for me. Fuck it. That. True. To say, fuck it. I'm not going here. I'm not doing this. You can't have that. Learning how to say no. Okay. The doctor is not going to tell you that, but I'm going to tell you that. Learn how to say no to people. Yeah. Fuck you. Fuck that. Fuck this. Fuck it. That helped me tremendously. You know what I mean?
I agree with that. 100%. Because any mental health issues and stuff like that, I'm dealing with myself. Nope, can't do it. No, thank you.
We put a lot of pressure on ourselves and a lot of, let me return this phone call, let me return this text, you know, let me go to this event that I really don't feel like going to. Let me make myself available for this person that really doesn't deserve my energy. So when you learn how to not really give a fuck about what people think, and you learn how to say no and protect your peace and your energy, that takes a whole lot of stress off of you. My migraines decrease significantly. Yeah, yes. Put that on a t-shirt. My migraines decreased significantly when I started putting distance between myself and those people that were vampires, like energy draining vampires. And I mean, I'm talking about family too. I get my scissors and I cut off anybody can get it, okay?
And I feel the same way. I tell you right, I'm a Leo, so I say fuck it a lot. Nope.
But I mean, in connection with the fuck it, right? There's a lot of things you can do. You can do yoga. You know, you don't have to actually go to a yoga class. Thank God for YouTube. You definitely can do that at home. Exercise if that's your thing. If you don't like to exercise, that's okay. But if it is your thing, same thing. You don't have to have a gym membership. You can throw on YouTube. You could do that. You know, you want to learn grounding techniques. So you're out in Target. You know what I'm saying? You start having a panic attack. You want to, you know, start identify 4 things around you. You know, there's a list that you can do to run down, to bring yourself down, to make sure that you're present in the moment and what's going on. So that's what mindfulness is. And if you do go to therapy, thank you, Jess. That's what mindfulness is. She just flashed it on the screen. And then you also can do cognitive behavioral therapy, which is a type of talk therapy. And they'll teach you different techniques to help you cope with your panic attacks. And if push comes to shove and, you know, you do all those things and you still need a little something extra, there's nothing wrong with taking medication. Now, I'm not saying, you know, let them give you lithium or anything like that. You know what I mean? But yeah, something, what I take is like, it's called nortriptyline. That's what I take. I don't have any kind of side effects from it. No weight gain, no nausea, no suicidal thoughts, nothing like that. And it helps with my migraines as well. So it's a preventative. So that's what works for me. You know, Tony, she liked to smoke. That's what works for her.
I mean, I do other things, just not, you know.
A lot of people do smoke though.
Yeah, smoking. It really do help. Something too, right? Smoking mostly helps with the nausea. You know what I mean? But like, yeah. I do exercise.
You said not your man. She about to cut her man off too. I mean, listen.
If they bring you stress, bye.
I mean, do what you gotta do.
Go ahead.
The men are plentiful and abundant. Okay, just know that.
What the comments say? You know,
no, she said yes, cut my whole fam off damn near, and my man be trying to be next.
Okay.
And I just said, you know, dick is plentiful and abundant, so you know, do what you gotta do, preserve your peace, okay? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but you were saying.
I don't remember, child.
What else you do besides smoking?
Well, I exercise a lot, you know. That's the
do you? I never do that.
I do. I work out a lot.
Really?
Yeah, girl. On this food I be eating, you know, how you think I be eating?
I just thought you was naturally done.
I'm not.
Okay. Well, yeah, you gotta give me some tips and techniques because the banner is high in this belly. Okay.
The trick is to have a panic attack while you ride the bike.
I'm so done with her ass. But you know what I do when I'm mad and I'm upset? I clean. Listen, my house will never be cleaner than when I want to fuck somebody up. Okay. Never be cleaner than. Hey, listen, I would smoke. See, it's not that I don't, I can't smoke. I can smoke, but it doesn't go well with me. I will have a panic attack. If I smoke too much, like I had to smoke like 2 puffs or something, and that's it. Because I started thinking like, oh my God, my heart is beating fast. Oh Lord, the cops gonna come. They're gonna take my kids away. The birds. And I see that's why I could never do drugs.
It's not right. It's not for everybody. I'm with you. Everybody think that that type of stuff everybody can do because a lot of people. It's not. Please don't go jump on some marijuana and think that that's gonna work out for you. You can have the seizure, you take a hit disease. You know what I mean? Like it's a lot. Just. Clean. Go to your doctor. I smoke because I get nausea from my anxiety, child, and that shit is uncontrollable.
Well, that's my IBS,
Is it?
Yeah. That now for like a year or two when I was younger, I did smoke because of my stomach problems, but I don't like smoking. So
it only comes on when I have like an anxiety attack, and then I know like maybe a couple hours later I'm going to be real sick, and it's like crazy. Okay. So I smoke a good little. And chill the fuck out.
So, not just, like I said, not just with anxiety, but in general, right? 1 in 4 people are going to have a mental health crisis in their lifetime. It might not last for a lifetime, but in a lifetime. So, don't let anybody make you feel stigmatized. Don't let anybody make you feel less than, you know what I mean? I don't give a fuck. I talk about my issues very openly. And a lot of times when you do that, this is what I find. When I talk about my issues openly, other people begin to tell me their issues, or you know what I mean, like their mom or their dad or their kids. Mm-hmm. Everybody has something going on.
They just in denial about it.
Right. And Black people in particular, something is wrong. Ain't nothing wrong with me. It's something wrong with all of us if you want to be clear. I mean, if you want to say wrong. There's something wrong with all of us. So during May, this mental health month, if you have anxiety, you have panic attacks, whatever it is that you have going on, if you just have difficulties with your family, it never hurts to speak to someone. You don't have to do it, for years on end, but it will not hurt. Therapy doesn't hurt. It always helps unless you have a bad therapist. And remember, therapists are like doctors. It is not a one size fits all. So you can go to someone and y'all just don't click. Y'all don't mesh well. You know what I mean? So you just find someone else. You find someone else until you're comfortable. You got to be comfortable with someone to be vulnerable with someone. So I'm going to keep taking my medicine. Tony going to keep smoking and exercising, which I need to pick up the exercising. So I don't need this banner to hide this belly. But everybody just be healthy here first. And then the rest will exude out, right? Mm-hmm. If the mind is healthy, the body will follow. Mm-hmm. So that's all I wanted to say about that. My anxiety, you know what? But my anxiety has been bad lately.
It could be everything that's going on in the world, though.
Like that sleeping anxiety I have, and I'm trying to sleep, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? I just want to sleep. But it's also probably because I'm not having sex.
I think mine's
the ghost saying.
Not the ghost saying. Ain't gonna bring that down. She looked at you like you were serious. Y'all gotta watch our last episode for you to understand what she means about the incubus hasn't visited me. But yeah, that's probably also because I haven't been having sex, so I do have some built up frustration.
You better call
called an incubus.
Yes. Ding dong.
So now we're going to talk about some lighter topics as we move to our inside the box segment. And if you don't know what the box is, it's more than you ain't getting none. You need the $40.
Back page.
You might need the you might need the back page. You might have a full-time subscription to OnlyFans. You might have a really strong right hand. You might be really obsessed with that flower clip sucker. Yes.
I'm gonna get that room shot.
People been talking about that like
I said that shit look cool.
I don't have one, but maybe I need to get one.
Okay.
I might need to get one.
Yeah.
But go on Tokyo.
So, this is the inside the box segment, and I have a question for everyone. How would you feel if you were not able to come? If you had to prevent yourself from coming, just so you don't get sick. So,
How sick?
pretty sick.
Flu sick?
Flu sick, along with also mental sick.
Oh.
Yeah, a lot of stuff happens. So, we're talking about POIS, which is known as post-orgasmic illness syndrome. POIS is a rare condition in which a person develops flu-like and allergy symptoms after orgasm, whether with a partner, through masturbation, or nocturnal emissions. So nocturnal emissions, we talked about last time, is having orgasms in your sleep.
Guilty.
So with POIS, there's multiple symptoms that happen. There are physical symptoms like fatigue, fever, nasal congestion, sweating, incoherent speech, anxiety, irritability or mood disturbances, impaired memory, poor concentration, itchy eyes, muscle pain, weakness, and depression. So you can become depressed, anxious. We talk about anxiety. You can become very foggy brained, where it's like you can't really focus or remember the words. Like how you get tongue tied.
Yeah,
you can get that, and this can last symptoms can develop within seconds, minutes, or hours after orgasm, and may last between 2 to 7 days. So imagine just somebody blowing your back out. You know what I'm saying? Like you in there, y'all in there, it's happening, it's fun, euphoria. You know what I mean? You orgasm, and right after you get severely sick. Your muscles hurt, everything hurt. You can't remember your name. You know what I mean?
Who is you?
Right. Can't remember out of my bed. Irritated. You know what I mean? Like everything is messed up, and it lasts for days. Like I can't imagine.
Days. I thought it just was like a few hours.
No,
days.
It can last
Did
between
you
2 to 7
imagine
days.
waking up next to somebody who suffer from that? Like, bitch, why aren't you fucking tell me you could?
You had this.
Like, come on now.
I mean, and the thing that makes it bad too is even if you're not purposely having an orgasm, like nocturnal emissions, I'm not even trying. You'll wake up with all that shit. You'll wake up. Some people get like rashes. Some people even lose their hair. They'll as soon as they come, they'll like their hair get itchy and then their hair start falling out.
Shut the hell up.
Yes, it's pretty bad. So and actually some men experience lifelong premature ejaculation.
Wait, I'm sorry. Are they like?
I'm sorry, I should laugh.
So are they like suffering from their own orgasms?
Yes.
Okay, so not from semen itself.
I didn't get to that one yet.
Okay,
but this is just POIS is yourself. Okay. So you're allergic to yourself.
You
can't come yourself
ever.
Oh, child, that's sickening.
Now you have the ability, but you got to take you gotta get a calendar blur from Thursday to freaking next week.
You had like multiple orgasms.
You know what? I don't think that if it's multiple orgasms, you'll be just as worse. I think it's just whenever this happens, you're gonna have this situation. You got to prepare yourself.
You talk about being a bitch.
That's what I'm saying.
You walking around because you cannot have an orgasm. You cannot ever climax.
That's horrible.
Awful.
I'd just be a serial killer. I'm killing you. I'm killing you.
It's pretty bad, and it's a lot of men suffer from this. They don't have the statistics.
More so
the statistics, yes, it's something. I get to it, but it seems to be a lot of men that talk about it. At least I haven't seen a lot of stories coming from women, and the statistics aren't really like. There's no statistics. It's like, oh, because it's rare, I guess it's like, it's not really something that everybody suffer from. Their own come in is kind of hard to, and you know what? They kind of go, like a lot of women go to doctors and it looks like it presents itself. Sometimes you do get rashes, sometimes you do get certain things, but they just look at it like, oh, yeast infection, or, you know, it doesn't present the same in everybody.
Okay.
When it comes to another person's cum, then yes. They still don't know. It's very hard to determine. It's very weird.
To get diagnosed with it.
Yeah, it's very hard. I guess you gotta go in like right after, like, okay, this is what happened to me. These are my symptoms. Right after I came, you gotta come in right with that, where it's like you must got anxiety or you have some mental issues.
I've never heard of it before.
Yeah, it's really
that's the first time I've ever heard of it.
Now they say the reason for this condition is unknown, but may be caused by autoimmune or allergic disorder that's caused by inflammation, by an inflammatory reaction to a substance found in men's semen. So that's for if you are your own cum, like if you're a man and you come, it's the protein in their cum that they get allergic to, and it's like it's like no real reason. They don't know why. So
it's the protein in the semen that they're allergic to.
Yes, only in men, but the women is believed that the antigen triggering PCOS symptoms might be produced by a prostate-like tissue known as the skin gland, which is localized around the upper wall of the vagina. So,
Jess, can you show that picture of the skin
gland?
The what?
Skin gland. So the red that's in the picture is in the vagina. So it's in the upper wall of the vagina, and it's a protein that's released and everything. And it's they say it's prostate-like. You know what I mean? It's similar to that. That's what they compare it to.
So they're saying it's like a woman having some male
prostate
hormones.
Prostate. Something like that. I guess the proteins are similar, but you know, it's for women. You know, it's not the male protein, but whatever it is, it triggers that when you release that when you come. It's very weird because it's like you're producing it yourself. So why would it affect
it's
me?
Coming from your own body.
It's coming from your own body. It's produced by your own body.
That's like other autoimmune.
I was about to say,
your body is attacking itself. Yeah.
So that's basically what is happening when you're coming. Your body is like, what is this? And it's treating us as
like it's a foreign object.
Yes. Okay. And it's very sad. And there's no they say there's no real treatment for it. Sometimes people get treated with antihistamines, like a allergy pill like Benadryl, something like that. A benzodiazepine, like Valium, like a kind of like a sedative type of thing. SSRI, serotonin reuptake inhibitors. That's for the psychological things though, like
the depression,
the anxiety, all that type of stuff. But that's the only way to actually deal with it. They can't stop it from happening. They can't stop you from producing a hormone or anything like that. You just got to take something.
I need a documentary.
Right. I have to take a Benadryl. Like, look. Now, some men.
I fall asleep though in the middle of sex if I take Benadryl. Benadryl knocks me on my ass. I can't take Benadryl. That's going to be the most horrible sex I've ever had. So.
Sertazine work too. No, Sertazine works. I don't know.
I never heard of that.
It's an allergy pill, but it keeps you from falling asleep. I take it every day.
Oh, okay.
I got some child, but
maybe a Claritin.
That's what it's like. Okay. But it's cheaper.
But you're talking about some people here like the flu-like symptoms, so there's nothing they can do for that. You know what I mean?
The symptoms, you can't do anything about it. Now, men, which is kind of crazy, but I've read some what is it, like a Reddit a Reddit post.
Okay.
And he talked about edges. So edges basically getting to the point you have to come and then kind of stopping yourself. So he does that often.
You don't get blue balls?
You can't. It can become irritating. But
I feel like you would hear blue balls.
All the time.
Yeah, you walking around all the time with blue balls.
You can. It's definitely possible.
That's what I just feel like you just gotta release.
Your body wants to release it.
You have to Like
you can train yourself though.
No,
you can.
No,
you gotta
train.
No.
Why do you think people edge? People edge all the time. You're prolonging your cum.
So then that just backs up. Like,
but it
recycles itself.
It reabsorbs.
I'm sorry, but if you want to see super bitch, you keep getting me to the point where I'm about to come. And I can't come. Yes. I'm knocking somebody stuck in hell.
I'll be ready to fight too.
Like I feel like it's a little different for men.
Go to work with all the
I feel
bullshit.
like men kind of
like good morning, fuck you.
Fuck your mama, fuck your grandmama. Good. You know what? Fuck this job. I'm out. I don't need this.
What the fuck's so good about this morning? What's good about this morning?
I feel like it's a little different for men because they gotta kind of work up to that situation. And a lot of times when they have sex with people, they do that anyway. They kind of get up there and they try to slow down and stop themselves from coming.
You know how
but
many
you want to relax at the end of the
You do want to, but the ones I read, they said edging works for them and stop them from having premature ejaculation. They can have sex longer, stuff like that. They wait till she done. So, and you still feel pleasure, it's just you can't get that relief. I can't do it.
Don't beat my head with the bullshit. You're not gonna tell me that you just start right not coming. It makes no. You just not gonna climax your whole life.
That's horrible.
Really?
That's horrible.
It's horrible. Then back in the day, I used to work in a nursing home. Okay, and I had a resident. You know, one of my residents. I don't know what you thought I was about to say. I don't know what you thought I was about to say. But I had a resident that she was a bitch. She was like, she's just this old bitch all the time. Well, one day, I don't know how we came upon it, but we realized that the bitch was a virgin, a damn near 100-year-old virgin. Now I understand why. I understand why you're a bitch. You ain't never had sex in your life, and now you about to die.
Ooh, I thought you was about to talk about milking somebody's grandpapa.
Shut up! So not milking.
These are my friends, ladies and gentlemen.
Not milking.
That thinks I'm jerking off an old man. Am I rich? No, I'm here with y'all. If I was rich, I'd be on the beach.
Y'all know
okay.
Listen.
Me and Papa would be on the beach somewhere. I wouldn't be here with y'all. I wouldn't be here with y'all.
My cousin, she is CNN. She be telling me some stories about
she a CNN?
Yeah, CNN. Yeah, CNN. I knew what the fuck I was. I ain't repeating my thing. That bitch knew what the fuck I was. CNN, ESPN, she was on it. Right? How about that? How about fucking it? Oh right. She be telling me stories about, her residents and the shit they be trying to pull, and everything. How she gotta get with them and everything.
The nurse home stories be funny. Okay? They be in here trying to get them balls.
Listen, I be like, y'all, my kids. I'm not gonna handle kids, but whoever taking care of me, if somebody take care of me, even if I gotta pay somebody to take care of me, y'all just better make sure that my vibrator is charged. Okay? I don't need you in the room. You give it to me at night. And you go home. I got it. I'm not finna sit up here all angry and grumpy like an old ass grumpy ass woman. No.
Well, let me tell you something. I'm not gonna say her name, but she was a bitch, and I really just low key wanted her to have some dick before she died. It's a damn shame. It's a damn shame.
I feel bad for the people that had this syndrome, though. I feel like, oh my God, like just even if you do it yourself, even if you like just no relief.
You can't masturbate. You can't.
Nope. If you're gonna masturbate, you better not come. Or you're gonna be down. Like you're gonna be down.
So what the fuck is the point?
That's what I'm saying.
What's the point?
What's the point in life? I don't fucking know. I would be stressed. Okay,
everybody gonna know
stress.
When you was playing with yourself. They're gonna be like,
I know. Oh, you sick again? Sick again? All right.
With yourself.
You had a good night. It wasn't worth it.
Tickling your genitals again. That's what she was doing. Your genital tickling ass. Keep your hands out your fucking pockets. God damn.
So the next cum-filled situation.
Not cum-filled.
It's called seminal plasma hypersensitivity. Seminal protein hypersensitivity. I'm sorry. It's allergic to the proteins found in men's semen. So this is the one where a woman is allergic, or another man is allergic to the
their
protein in a man's semen. Yes.
So you are allergic to your significant other's semen.
Yes. So those symptoms include redness, burning, swelling, pain, hives, itching. So this is more.
That sounds like an STD.
Yeah, and that's usually how they feel, and how when they go to the doctor, they be like, "I just have all this situation going on here."
Somebody's head got knocked on.
Right. So, I mean, they get tested and they don't have. They'll say, "Oh, you have a yeast infection" or stuff like that. So they get misdiagnosed too, because it's hard to kind of put it together unless you tell them, like, I just had sex, and every time I had sex with him, this is what happened. Then that's probably how they would find out, like, oh, the protein in the semen, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So symptoms typically happen to women and affect the vulva inside the vaginal canal. They can also appear wherever the part of the body the semen has come in contact with. I'm sorry.
So you got a little song right now. My throat is swollen.
So your head, like mouth, chest, anus. So if you might get come on the butt sometimes, you might have a little redness itching in that area.
Yes, itch.
Yeah. Little booty scratch.
Child, don't let them be freak nasty, child.
Now for men, I know. For men,
it's like a water hole.
not all over the face. Lord, face red, butt, eyes red, shit all over you. I'm sick. I got bed bugs. Ain't nobody nothing on my face. I'm not a mosquito bite. Twinkie. Oh my God. Don't ever be freak nasty.
Oh Lord.
So for men, symptoms can occur on the shaft or above the genitals, just in a little area. So if you get a little come on this area, it might get a little itchy. Try to look at. I don't know. It seems worse when it's a penis. I don't know why. Like I feel like the heel. I don't know. Little nasty.
That little mushroom.
Yeah. Symptoms usually occur within 20 to 30 minutes of exposure. A severe case in anaphylaxis. Anaphylaxis may occur, which is pretty bad.
We ain't correct you. You still said it wrong.
That's right. Anaphylaxis.
Oh, okay. My bad. I'm sorry.
If I would have said anaphylactic shot,
let me mind my business.
But yes, that's the severe cases. Treatments include desensitization. So why can I talk wrong me?
Did you have a little allergy to some semen?
You know what?
Let me see.
You know what? Let's take your tongue out.
I might have.
Tongue look a little swollen over there. For research.
So this is the part that I found very fascinating. So you can be desensitized, and I'm gonna tell you how.
Okay.
So you can go to an allergist or an immunologist. Mm-hmm. They will place a diluted semen solution inside the vagina or onto the penis every 20 minutes.
Who's semen solution?
The one that you're allergic to. So they will.
Oh, they got your partners?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. They got a container.
They got you dilute it. You dilute it. You know what I mean? And
they pour water in it.
They dilute it, and then they'll, the potency will get a little more.
Not the potency.
They'll dilute it a little less.
I know what happens when you dilute shit.
So you have, potency. So you dilute it, so it's not as strong, and then you increase the strength. Until dark white. And you continue until you can stand the exposure.
So how many times are they coming?
I do not know how many times they would have to come.
Who came up with this?
An immunologist or a fucking.
So this is what we're going to do.
We're going to expose you to.
Come in here. Pour some water here. Now I'm gonna just mix it. I'm gonna just.
I'm gonna take this. I'm just spike it down like this.
Let me get here. I'm gonna put it. Tell me everywhere and he normally come on you. Just put a little here. Put a little here. You said behind the ears?
Yes.
We're gonna hook you up. We're gonna desensitize you, okay?
Yes.
Who came up with this shit?
I think an allergist. It sounds like an allergist came up with it.
sprinkle a little cum on them.
You know, like when you have an allergy, they try to desensitize.
That's so disappointing. Sprinkle a little cum on them.
Now they will continue this until.
No, can you imagine you just sitting there, you just.
They sprinkle you in.
Oh no, Doc! I feel it. I feel it. It's too strong. It's too strong.
Oh my God!
Be like, oof, that cup hurt right there.
God damn it, my eyes! I told you not in the eyes this time, Doc. I'm starting to think you're doing that shit on purpose.
They usually just insert it to the vagina. They don't put all over your body.
Well, that's
They'll put it in your vagina, and then you'll be desensitized to the reaction.
How you would desensitize my whole body through my vagina?
It will happen. That will happen.
That don't sound like science.
That's science. You exposed to the allergen, and until the shit don't give you no symptoms no more. Now, it's a better way, of course. Keep fucking your partner until you know.
I think that's a hard word.
Wait, that's what they said?
Yes, after
how many times you gotta fuck them though? Is it like a number?
But after this treatment, you have to continue to have
like it.
You have to continue to have sex
like
until
that sound like
to
rape.
maintain your tolerance.
That sound like rape to me.
What is going on?
But you have to look.
Like it.
Let me write your prescription. Keep fucking until it don't hurt. Until it don't hurt no more.
Engage in intercourse every 48 hours to maintain tolerance.
Every 48 hours.
Yeah, 48. Every 48
the doctor says spread them legs.
Put your bitch ass up. Let's get it.
Now you can take an antihistamine before engaging in sex, and that could, you know.
I'm about to say you take like
you can you can take an antihistamine beforehand if you remember.
That's a bad experience. Like, I don't know. That's discouraging. Like, how many times we got these?
I mean, if you're extremely allergic, you actually have to have everything.
Get the fuck out of here.
You can be severely allergic.
I mean, like,
EpiPen?
That's at least in his process. He can be allergic to his own organisms.
Yeah.
I would rather go. I'd rather be allergic to, like, you know, my partner's semen than be allergic to my own organisms. At least I can handle that afterwards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree with that.
And, you know, get the epi like, whoo, that was good. You know, just I know you do it like this.
Do it while I'm coming. Just
you know, like on some like Pulp Fiction type of shit. You know what I mean? Like choke me out while you on top, right?
But you know what? The symptoms are different. So when you're allergic to your partner's semen, it's more of outward signs. You know what I mean? It's just, you know, burning itches, stuff like that. When you're allergic to your own, it's because it's coming from inside you. A lot of shit is happening. It's like nasal congestion, fucking fever. You know, you having like a whole reaction, like
lose your fucking memory and shit.
Like you completely are foggy brain the fuck up. Like now, a lot of it do. A lot of
maybe that's why I don't have it.
They do come in clusters. So like some people will have the nasal congestion and those things, and then some people will just have the mental fog and stuff like that. So it comes in clusters. So if you have this is how you're gonna probably always respond to it. Which are when you have your own situation. So I say get a bunch of Benadryl or some type of antihistamine and come. Listen. I had to be foggy brain for 7 days. I'm sorry. I can't.
How you gonna go to work?
I'll go. I don't know what's getting done, but
Do you want to have it on file at work? I'm
gonna put it down my medical condition.
Tokyo, where's that report?
I got a doctor's note.
You've been fucking again, Tokyo. I'm sick of this shit.
Yes, I have. I'm sorry.
I can't. I couldn't do it.
I just kind of want to know what y'all men would do. I feel like, would y'all just take it? Cause y'all testosterone, y'all ability to not want to fuck is kind of crazy. So I'm just thinking, like, would y'all just take the pain? Would y'all be like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it every time. Just go ahead.
I feel like most men will just go ahead and be sick versus
I think so.
Not having an orgasm. Okay, so I don't enjoy being sick, so I probably would break down, you know, every few months and just say, fuck it. I'm just gonna be sick.
Every few months.
I can go without
it.
I don't like being sick. if I'm gonna have the flu, if I'm
Don't nobody like being sick.
and I'm going to lose, my ability to think for 7 days, to have an orgasm. And let's be for real. Y'all, like, when you have a partner and you enjoy your partner and everything, that's one thing. Your sex is going to be good, guaranteed, right? I'm single. Sometimes you don't know if the dick is going to be good or not. So you got to weigh your options, right? We all had that dick that you was like, I could have had a V8. I could have had a gooder than a motherfucking cheesesteak. I could have had a sandwich from Ricci Brothers. A bowl of butter almond ice cream. So you're weighing your options, like, do I want my butter almond ice cream, or do I want to get dick down, and then maybe it's not dick down, and then you just sick for no reason. Now I'm sick for 7 days.
If you don't come, I feel like a lot of women don't come through penetration, but you do want some foreplay. You do want foreplay to get it going. So you can forego foreplay and just hope that he don't make it.
And nobody can eat the box either.
That's what. If you come that way, if that's how you finna come,
I don't know.
I would be sick. A bitch gonna be sick
every 2 weeks. Charmin, not even every 2 weeks. I'm be sick all through the week. Y'all just don't know Tony's fucking
to be sick.
Y'all be like, Tony need to calm the fuck down. She can't even remember her own name.
Tony gonna be wandering down the street.
Mama gonna be putting out missing posters. You see my girlfriend? Bitch missing again. I got
you had to put one of them alert bracelets. It's found.
They don't fuck me in city. I be like, I must have been fucking again. This is getting out of here. Out of here. I don't know what I'm gonna do.
No, we finna die. And then we ain't gonna get there every day. We be fucking on that screen like, bitch. I'm gonna start it over.
I'm gonna be a forgetful ass.
I've been sick for 3 months, bitch. I can't.
Period.
Oh my God.
Like, ain't nothing wrong with her. She just be forgetting that every time she comes. But she don't ever remember nothing.
Your poor son. I don't know what happened to mommy. Mommy doesn't remember my name anymore.
I hear me, child. I hear me. Get the fuck out.
Go get your daddy.
Tyree, I'm looking down the street and this young man, he accosted me.
Oh God.
Woo. That's terrible. I'm gonna tell you right now. It can't be me. I'm weak.
Miss Ida, you gonna be sick too?
I'm weak, child.
Ashamed, Miss Ida. Ashamed.
They're just gonna be like, you ought to be ashamed of your fucking self. Oh, what? What are you talking about?
I'm finna be sick.
Right.
Doctor's note, nigga. I gotta get a doctor's note.
Can you be on
disability? You would have to be on disability.
No, I'm disabled. I need a check.
I'm addicted to dick.
You need a check.
Right. I'm addicted to dick. And I keep forgetting shit.
Wait, can you imagine HR getting your FMLA like addicted to dick?
You sick when?
Just like an ass leg, that's gonna be in the office like ass leg. Hey, ass leg?
Bobby, come look at this shit.
That's what's about to happen, bitch. I need a check.
Yeah, you be single, everybody at the job trying to fuck you to try it out and see.
Let me see if she gets sick.
Like let me fuck her. What's 1 + 1, bitch?
What? Like she called out again? Stop on here fucking.
Child, listen. I say get an antihistamine. Okay. And try to get a check. That's what I would say.
Hop the whole fucking body if you need to, child. Now don't do that.
Miss Ida, what do the union say about that?
I don't know, man. I need to know. Write it down.
Oh my God. That's a shame though. But
awful.
I actually do know women that are allergic to their man's semen. Mm-hmm. So that's a real thing.
It is.
I don't know anyone who's allergic to their own orgasms, I feel really bad for those people, and I feel like they definitely should be able to get on disability.
For real.
Yeah, they need a little check. That's a horrible way to live life, because we are
it is.
We're genetically engineered to want to have sex. If we don't have sex, we won't procreate. Right. So you have to be able to have sex.
It's horrible.
I could not do it.
Because listen, I forgot to take my allergy pill today, and I'm suffering over here right now with the sniffles. I couldn't imagine.
I know, right? Damn. I just feel bad if it's like a nocturnal emission too, like a sleep come.
Oh
like,
yeah, you just wake up.
You wake up like, bitch, again, and you probably gonna have it because you can't fall. So you gonna start having them in your sleep. Oh,
it's a horrible experience.
I'm sorry for y'all. Just try to get a check. Try to get a check. That's my advice. Go to a doctor. Try to get a check.
you said you're gonna file my grievance.
For real.
Listen, I do hear some grievances, so yeah. Oh God, that's funny.
Yes.
Anyway,
take a drink for y'all.
Yes, pour some out for those who can't come. Lord,
I drink my water.
Oh, you're not drinking today?
No.
You want no fruity wine?
I just gave up on drinking. I drank myself, from 16 to like 13 to like 30. I'm tired of drinking. If my stomach ain't the same, I'm just let it go. Weed is enough. That's enough. That's a good enough vice.
Weed is enough. Put that on a t-shirt.
Okay.
Look for our flyers, follow our page. We'll let you know what our next subjects are coming up. We do nerd culture, pop culture. We always talk about sex. Some of y'all missed the sex segment, and we did a piece on anxiety. We definitely like to talk about things that affect the Black community as a whole, and we're not a monolith, so that's why we discuss everything, okay? So thank you again. Y'all have a good night. Join us next time for education, a laugh, and a heavy pour. My glass is empty now, but I'm about to fill it up.